your orgasms.
Is Austin here? Austin Mitchell? I think so. Who are you? I'm his girlfriend, Dallas.
Matrix, she needs to leave.
Working on it!
Now!
Gotta go.
What this last weekend?
No, of course it's not. Why would I care if you cheated on her with me? I wasn't the one doing the cheating.
Smoking. Chansey, no!
You're more of a liability than you are an asset. I can't even believe you haven't fired her yet.
Stop the peace loving.
Stop!
We're gonna get through this meeting and we're gonna tell each other how we got here. And from now on until the end of this meeting, real names only. So why don't you start first?
Your sister is your arch nemesis?
Alright, cue the sad violins and get out your hankies because it's gonna get a whole lot worse. Starting from the beginning, I guess, my mother died in childbirth, so my father always resented me. It's sort of a Tyrion, Tywin Lannister situation. And so, to gain his attention, I turned my attentions to the bladed arts, martial arts, because, hold on to your tits, my father was Scimitar.
Dark Blade of Romanopolis?
That's the one. He was never proud of me, but he was constantly praising my sister Emmeline. And when it came time for him to choose a sidekick, he chose her instead of me. Even though I had spent 16 years training and hoping that maybe one day he would let me take my place at his side as his sidekick, but no, he chose her. Even though the most hero training she ever had was cheerleading camp.
Yeah, who does that?
He paid Emmy's way into an experimental super soldier program that made her invulnerable, thus invincible. So I did what a lot of teens do. I ran away from home and I joined up with Romanopolis's criminal syndicate, the Unspeakable, where I met Duke Midnight, who became my and I met Whitefeather, who sort of became a father figure to me, and through a series of spy versus spy instances, my sister became my arch nemesis. She killed my boyfriend, I killed our father, she killed my new father figure. Anyway, she stormed the Unspeakables HQ, destroyed everything, killed Whitefeather, and for some reason, she says sisterly affection, but I think otherwise, she let me live. So I moved to Atro City, and I met Gravitas when we were trying to rob the same bank, and we talked to each other. He mentioned the new team he was putting together, and a couple years later, here we are.
Love you, bitch.
BFFs forever!
Ah, congratulations, Trixie. You just volunteered to go next.
Alright. 8 years ago, I was a teenager. Popular, cheerleader,
Please tell me you still have the outfit.
student council, friends with everyone from the jocks to the hippie art nerds. But what I really loved was science. My uncle, who basically raised me, worked at a laboratory not far from school, and every day after school I would spend my time there studying, and he was working on a new source of renewable energy, and I just wanted to help in any way I could to be on the ground floor. Plus, that was good on college applications. So one day when I was leaving school, I was walking to the lab and I see this bright light just shoot out of the building, and as I get to the door, a massive explosion happened. I was pronounced dead 2 hours later at the hospital. The funeral was lovely, I bet, and I woke up during the visitation in my casket and I could hear my classmates and friends talking about me. They say your uncle was a terrorist. They never found the body. She's a psycho just like him. So fake, so annoying, such a joke, and then boom, I walked away from the funeral and no one else did. It took me a really long time to trust anyone. And, it wasn't until one day when I was trying to pickpocket that guy that he introduced me to my new family of weird jerks. But I love you guys because at least you're honest about being bad.
That was lovely, dear.
Trixie, you're a spaz, but you're my spaz.
That was well said, and that also means it's your turn.
Well, strap on the fun boots, kids, because this one's going to be a long one.
All aboard for a field trip.
Woo woo! So as you all know, I excel at gadgets and actually won some awards, both statewide and national. Nerd. Thanks. Anyway, so I spent most of my youth working on my gadgets and working on my education, getting good grades, which didn't leave a lot of time for a social life. And then one day at a local science fair, Staff Sergeant Burr came in and didn't really pay much attention to the fact that an Army recruiter was at the science fair, but anyways, I was just excited he took interest in my work. And he convinced me to join up into the National Guard. Did my basic training the summer of between my junior and senior year, and then graduated. After graduation, I went to sniper school and continued tinkering with gadgets, and that's kind of where I also discovered my ability to move things with my mind. And then I figured after the Army, I'd just grow up to be a famous inventor.
Nerd!
You all. Anyways, so 9/11 happens. And that's when the rise of the supers came up, as we all know. And I went to war. I did 3 tours, Army Rangers. I then ran into that Sergeant Burr. He was now Captain Burr. Then he actually recruited me into another unit, which was more specialized, which sent me to a secret base in Alaska on the Canadian border. There they did a lot of experimenting on me, forcing chemicals into my body, and then said I was a failed candidate. So they dropped me off in the middle of Canada, in the middle of nowhere. So I, thanks to my powers and my ability to survive, I found my way back to the United States, and that's when I came across Gravitas, who recruited me into this group, and I found the best job I ever had, and my freedom.
Oh, you guys want to hug a little? Maybe make out?
Please do.
First of all, hostile work environment. Second of all, maybe after a couple beers and some truth or dare.
Yeah, well, I'm comfortable enough with my masculinity, so bring it on, Barn. I can take the strong, flattering come-ons of another man.
You guys make being the HR rep really easy.
Well, you know what, guys? I think we have time for one more before a little lunch break. What do you say there, Silver? You want to go?
Well, why don't you go?
Why don't you go?
You don't really want to hear my story.
Oh, I think we do.
Okay.
This should be good.
So my powers first manifested themselves when I was 16 playing beer pong. It was pretty cool. Over the next couple of years, I really tested myself, pushed myself to extreme limits. It was fun. I did a lot of tabletop gaming. Got kicked out every time for cheating. They had no proof. I eventually left school, not because I did poorly, but because I saw better opportunities out there. After leaving, I got heavy into gambling, finding I was rather skilled at it. Quickly amassed a pretty great fortune working for a villain group, the Syndicate, in neighboring in Freedom City. I used the name Fenrir. Eventually, through circumstances, I bet my fortune against the CEO and won, giving me complete control over the company. I decided I need a new name, Silver, and became the lovable launderer and handler you all know. And so far, you're really the only ones who know the real me, as opposed to the masked man on your computer. Oh, and by the way, EvilCon is going great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, no one did. That is it.
Did I hear know and love? I have a face now, that's it.
Well, that's all you get.
You said my powers. They are...
This and that.
So, good talk, guys.
Yep, I was just thinking it's getting to be about beer o'clock.
Great, so you're gonna come back drunk today?
Yeah, today. Come on, you can tell me. You know I'll forget anything.
No.
Flight?
No.
Super screen?
No.
New glasses?
What?
Laser penis.